Go on, then.
Right, the Mercedes S63 did it there in 132.1. The BMW did it in 131.2. Which
Brilliant, so there we are. If you are a banker and you like to get anywhere in a big hurry, go for the BMW. Consumer advice for you there. Now, and all V12s depreciate like pianos falling off tower blocks. No, they do. Friend of mine, OK, he had a Ferrari GTC 4 Lusso, the V12 one, kept it 4 months and sold it after 4 months and lost £55,000 in 4 months. Yes, I mean, if he'd have had the V8, it wouldn't have depreciated that much. Well, mainly because he wouldn't have wanted to sell it in the first place.
Do you know, that is really good buyer's advice for every man, isn't it? We all now know.
This from a man who's just reviewed a £300,000 tank. There is a lot to commend the Ford, you're right.
I like the Renault. Actually.
Oh, God.
Oh, this is brilliant buyer's advice, isn't it? I'd have the Ford, you'd have the Renault, and he'd have the Piers Morgan.
Yeah, I know how we can sort this out.
Yeah, but actually, the good news is, just this month, a new company has started up specifically to provide parts for Saabs. So if you are an architect, fingers crossed, you should be OK for a bit.
Do you know that's the second week on the trot we've ended with a useful piece of consumer advice?
It's weird.
And the Focus did it in 130.8. So look at that, wet track in between two 911s. The Subaru, though, I think thanks to four-wheel drive, did it in 127.7. So that goes there, look.
Now, that's some useful consumer advice if you are thinking of buying any of them, which you aren't because you can't.
Thanks for that.
Yes.
OK, let's move on now. Well, no, you see, the thing is, I wouldn't, because a Volkswagen Golf is £4,000 less expensive than a Tiguan, so I'd buy one of those, and then I'd take the £4,000 that I'd saved to the tip and throw it away. No, wait, no, what I'd do, actually, is I'd spend the £4,000 on a fortnight's holiday in the south of France in a hotel.
Have we just done some actual consumer advice there?
Yes, I think we have.
Yeah, we have.
28.3, and the Renault Megane, the most track-focused of them all, did a 127.7. So, therefore, the conclusion is, if you want a relatively inexpensive, fun car, buy the Toyota GT86.
We're really not much good at that consumer advice thing, are we? Anyway.
The Aston Martin Rapide.
Oh, go on, then.
There's your Maserati 3581.
Yeah.
Rapide 3525.
That's...
So 50 grand and you go 0.6 of a second faster around Farnborough Business Park. It's an important piece of consumer advice.
Spend an extra 50 grand for that.
Right, it's time now. However, I've driven an ordinary cooking Fiat 124 and that is not as good as an MX-5, not even close.
No, that's true. You'd be better off with the MX-5, unless you want the fastest MX-5, in which case, buy the Abarth.
Quite.
Have we just done consumer advice?
Little bit. We'll move it on quickly.
Weird.
Yes, we will move it on. But the winner, with an incredible 5 miles to the gallon, is the Audi R8. So here's a Top Gear top tip. If you've been affected by the fuel crisis, this is the supercar to buy.
Thing is, could you really tell people that you have a Urus? Because it sounds like a minor alien out of Star Trek.
Yeah.
But it does work as a Lamborghini.
Yeah. But no.
Well, this is excellent consumer advice.
Yeah, very clear, very clear.
The thing is, after I made that film, which was quite good fun, I came home and I thought, the trouble is, it could do with being a bit more Aventador-ish. It could do with being a bit more mad.
Are you saying you changed your mind?
Yes.
Oh, great. So Prime Minister Clarkson returns from the summit. I've declared war. But on the plane home, I had another think about it, and I'm not so sure now. I've changed my mind.
Exactly, that's what I've done.
Anyway, look, the news has been filled with a lot of scenes this week of flood victims all waving their arms around and going, oh, no, what are we going to do?
End of the world, really. I mean, certainly makes me very sad because the answer, as we all know, is simple. You buy a Ford Transit van, cut a big hole in the floor, take the back doors off, a couple of engines in it, fans, skirts, put it in the water, it sinks, you get another Transit van, more powerful engines, totally redesigned. There we go. This is what we're on about. And it works perfectly. That is the solution. We predicted these floods 6 months ago and came up with the solution.
But what's really annoying is everybody's blaming the floods on David Cameron, the Environment Agency, pretty much everything you can name.
I know exactly who is to blame for this problem everybody's having. Miranda Hart. You laugh, but here's the thing. We're sitting here now on a Sunday evening. 8-9 million people in Britain have chosen to watch some 1950s midwifery on the other side, so they don't know about the hover van. That is the problem. They've chosen Miranda over us. And our show is rammed full of helpful hints and useful consumer advice.
Every week.
Now, is that more powerful?
Nope. But it is 18 kilograms lighter because it has carbon fibre windscreen wipers.
What? That's all?
What were the old ones made of?
Cast iron.
So it's 18 kilograms lighter. Mm-hmm. And how much is it?
It's £2.3 million. That's a lot,
Well,
isn't
the
it?
standard one's, what, 2 million
2
quid,
million.
isn't it? Well, I've just had a thought.
What?
If you're prone to going through life with quite a heavy briefcase,
yes,
if you bought the ordinary Chiron, left your briefcase at home, you've automatically created the sports, haven't you?
Yeah.
And saved yourself £300,000.
That is good advice.
Yeah. A lot
Actually,
of people
that's-
here will be taking that away with them and using it.
That's consumer advice.
Exactly. I
All
like
part
to
of the
do that.
service, we're here for you.
Don't walk into this minefield of whether or not you can declare yourself to be a woman. Simply declare yourself to be a vicar.
That's a good idea because they do have cheap insurance, don't they?
They do have very cheap car insurance, and if you're a vicar, you can still wear a dress.
Yeah.
There you go.
So everybody wins.
Or do they
Everybody
get
wins.
more consumer advice? Ooh, now, 50,000 17-year-olds pass their driving test and have to buy a car. OK, and because they're 17, the car they want is sporty and cool and preferably turbocharged.
Trouble is, their parents want them to have something that is slow, cheap and safe. And the insurance companies would rather they didn't have anything at all.
So, to sort all this out, the producers gave us each a typical budget of £2,500. Told us to pretend we were 17-year-olds and then go out there and buy cars that would please us as 17-year-olds, our parents, and the man from the Pru. This is genuine consumer advice.
Yeah, well, mostly.
Sort of, at first.
I'm sorry. Can you just...
This is consumer advice as well.
Shut up!
This is also consumer advice happening
The
right
door handles come off! Can you go in there and make that noise? Please stop!
What we're saying is the best car for a 17-year-old is a beige Volvo Estate with a broken back window.
Yep, that's what my children are getting. Be assured. Anyway, that is the end, you'll be relieved to hear, of the consumer advice for this week.
No, it's not, because